So our notes today are going to be 2-6, and we are into multiplying decimals. I'm going to show you the easiest way to do these. Okay. All right. So let's say you have a number like, let's do 2.6 times 3.4. Okay. So the decimals in there are groovy, but if I asked you to multiply 26 times 34, that probably wouldn't stress you out so much, right? Well, the secret is that you can actually, when you move that decimal from the middle to the end, you actually multiply that number by 10, right? 26 is 10 times as big as 2.6. And 34 is 10 times as big as 34. So we actually multiplied that by 10 and by 10. We moved the decimal out 2 spaces, one there and one there. So the secret with decimals is that if you want to just ignore them temporarily, you can do that as long as you remember to add them back. So I'll show you one way to multiply, and that is to just stack them like you always have. Actually, let me move that down a little bit. So we've got 26 times 34. So 4 times 6 is 24. 4 times 2 is 10 plus, 4 times 2 is 8 plus 2 is 10. Then we put a little placeholder of 0 there. And 3 times 6 is 18. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1 is 7. And then we're just adding straight down. So all you have to remember is how many spaces you originally moved it over, and it's equal to how many zeros there are. So there's 2 zeros. All I need to do is drag my decimal back 2 spaces, and my answer would be 8.84. And think about that logically if that makes sense to you, because if you had 2.6, well, that's about 2.5 times 3. Well, 3 times 2.5 is 7.5, and those are both bigger than that. So 8.84 is a reasonable answer. All right, I'm going to show you one more. I'm going to show you a little bit different way to do it, because when we start the algebra concepts, I think these will help you. So if I have, let's see, 7.32 times 4.5. So I already want you to get an idea in your head about what that should be. And just look at your whole numbers. So 4 times 7 is 28. So I'm just going to put that over here in the corner. It's kind of a reminder of what our answer should be, sort of close-ish to. At least it should be a 2-digit number in front of the decimal. Okay? So instead, I'm going to multiply 732 and 45. Okay? So what I want you to think about is how many spaces did you go out? 1, 2, and 1. Which really means that you multiplied by a 1 and 1, 2, 3. You multiplied in total those numbers by 1,000. So when we get done with this answer here, we're going to need to drag that decimal. Instead of multiplying it by 1,000, we need to divide by 1,000, which is easy because you just moved the decimal back 3 spaces. So let's go ahead and multiply that out. And I would have 10, 15 plus 1 is 16, 35 plus 1 is 36. Put my little placeholder. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 7 is 28, plus 1 is 29. And then we can just add them straight down. 9, 12, and 3. And remember what we said, that our decimal is currently over here, but I need to make sure that I undo this multiplying by 1,000. So all I'm going to do is move my decimal from here 1, 2, 3 spots, and it's going to be right about there. And remember our original estimate of what we said is going to be 28. 28 and 32 are pretty close. Okay, that's what we're going to do. That's it. That's multiplying decimals.